My name's Edgar Sherman. I'm the founder and CEO of Edgar Sherman Design, and today we're going to go over a brief overview of the ESD Sap Bucket, along with an installation guide and how we set it up. The ESD Sap Bucket is our take on modernizing the dump pouch. For those who've used dump pouches, or for those who haven't, a dump pouch is a great piece of kit to go and retain spent magazines, canine leashes, medical equipment, whatever it is that you want to retain on your person and not leave in the field or on the range, but you don't have a designated pouch for it. The problem with a lot of existing dump pouches on the market is that they're either really good at staying compact, and when you open them up, then they don't really work too well and stuff falls out of them, or you have something that's super bomb-proof and industrial that takes up a lot of space and can retain stuff well, but struggles to actually get compact and still can sometimes leave a lot of your equipment on the field when you're running. With the ESD Sap Bucket, we set out to solve all of those problems, and we did just that. One of the first things you'll notice on the Sap Bucket is that we have a reinforced lip that surrounds the opening here. What this does is it makes it so you have a good tactile reference point and indexing point, so you're never missing the insertion of a magazine or any other piece of equipment. You don't have to worry about missing that or trying to find a loose flap on your equipment or anything of the like. The other cool thing is that because it's flexible, it'll allow you to stow it upon itself, and we'll get into that in a little bit. On the inside of the Sap Bucket, you're going to see what we call the active gear retention collar. And what this does is it allows you to go and insert whatever equipment is that you have and be able to retain it without having to close the Sap Bucket itself. To do so, you have on the inside face a piece of shock cord that has a nice little pull tab on here, so you're not going to slip whether you're wearing gloves or your hands are wet or anything like that. And you can go and tighten that up, and then it acts similar to a chalk bag for rock wall climbing. Now, with this lip through here, I can go and take a magazine, insert it in through here, and as I'm running, as I'm climbing something, moving in and out of vehicles or whatever, as this is bouncing around, it hits off of that retention collar. It stops it in its tracks and falls back into the bag. What's also cool though, is because it's with shock cord, I can go and still index and grab whatever equipment's in here, even if it's a slightly larger object than the diameter of the hole here, because of that flexibility. If you do need to have hard securement, you can take the inside strap here and you can go and fold this over and lock it into here too. So now if there's ever a situation where you really want to make sure your equipment stays retained in here, you have that capability. On that strap, there's a little pull tab on here to help make it easier. So if you're wearing gloves or anything like that, you can get quick access and not slip over it. And then it's got a nice tucking point on the inside face here, so that way it stays out of the way whenever you're not utilizing it. Jumping to the front, you have that Velcro here, which is going to go and allow for that tab to close on it. It's also going to be good for storage. I'll show you that technique in a few seconds. On the bottom, we have a mesh vent through here. What's really cool about this is a lot of traditional dump pouches use a single eyelet on the bottom. And what happens is if you're on the range and you have a sandy environment, or you're doing VBSS stuff, i.e. you're out and doing maritime operations, or even if it's just raining in your environment, a lot of times you get a buildup of water or of dirt, of sand, whatever it may be in the bottom of your bag, and that eyelet doesn't drain very well. So by the end of the day, you're carrying a lot of extra gunk that you don't want on your person. But by having a mesh bottom, it drains out all of that water, that sand, snow, so on and so forth, all while retaining whatever essential items you have on the inside are. The integrated loops on the bottom are designed so that way if you were to be running this bag open all the time, you can now go and integrate a thigh strap of your choosing, be it shock cord, paracord, webbing, whatever it is. You can now go and retain this bag to your legs. So as you're running, this isn't going to be bouncing around on you. Utilizing an open MOLLE system allows for a wide arrangement of mounting systems. Now, we recommend and include 2 pieces of 1-wrap Velcro. The reason for this is that if you're using a modern combat 2-piece belt system, this is going to prevent any sort of lapse of Velcro coverage. So now you're not going to have any MOLLE rows blocking off any sort of Velcro connection from your inner and outer belt, or if you're using a pad or a adhesive inner belt. It'll prevent that. It also allows for you to go and mate these closer up to existing pouches and makes it so you're not reliant on MOLLE rows. Now, you can still utilize other things like the Whiskey 2-4 PAL like straps here, or PAL straps, or if you want to do some other system that's out there, you can utilize it. But It makes it so that you have that capability to change it up to whatever your mission is, to whatever equipment you're utilizing, or if some new system comes out. Now I'm going to show you how to stow the sap bucket when it's not in use. To start, simply pull out the closing flap. Now, if it's on your kit or anything like that, you can lay it up against you. If you have it on a bench or something of the like, you can lay it up flat against here. To go and start, you're just going to go and fold this flat and rotate this into thirds. Once that's set, I'm just going to roll from the bottom all the way up to the top, take the top closure here, and adhere that to the Velcro. Once that's set, that's completely done. The nice thing about this too is that while this is on my kit, if it's not stored for long periods of time and I go and open this up, it's going to help deploy and go back to that natural position. I can tuck away that strap, and now we're back to work. This is really important because if you have a dump pouch that is without any sort of frame to this, a lot of times you're trying to shake open that bag and try to go and get it back to where it needs to be. And this will go and naturally retain itself to that original shape that you saw. Even if this was in storage for a long period of time, it doesn't take that long for you to go and get this back to its nice natural shape. If you've already purchased a sap bucket or you've made the decision that you want to get one, we have a wide assortment of colors, from solid colors like wolf gray, ranger green, coyote brown, black, to some of the multicam spectrum. We've got arid, tropic, regular multicam, and multicam black. On the actual sap bucket, if you purchase it in a store or you buy it from the website, the packaging will be the same. You get this nice little hanging tag here that if you open it up, it gives you a little bit of info on the bag itself, giving dimensions, size comparison, things like that. You get a nice little sticker here. This is an ode to the name, the Sap Bucket, and an ode to Vermont, where I grew up. So you've got a maple tree here, which is what generates maple syrup, and where you use a sap bucket. The galvanized steel background here is that of a sap bucket as well. On the inside face here, you have your key little facts, along with some different details here about weight and capacity. Flip that over, there's more written info just to help give you the whole understanding of the bag. And then it also shows you how to stow it, which we've also showed you in the video. And there's a link to the video here using the QR code. The last step here is installing your sap bucket onto your belt. To do so, go and flip over your sap bucket, go to the molly rows that you have on the back. You're going to use the two pieces of 1-wrap Velcro. Make sure that you orient these in the proper way, i.e. the hook side is going to go and match properly to the inside of your belt. So you have hook to hook facing the same direction, or if this were to be a loop side, you have loop and loop facing the same direction. To install the Velcro with this AWS gear belt where the hook is facing on the inside, I want to make sure that I have the hook facing towards the sap bucket. So now when I go and slide this all the way through and pull this out, I'll make sure it's even on both sides. I'll do the same for both pieces. You can space out these 1-wrap Velcro pieces within the molly rows based on the other equipment that you have on your belt. If you want to build the most stable system, just push that 1-wrap out to the furthest points on either side. From there, you can take your belt, go and mount this where you want it to be, and just fold over that Velcro. If you get to a situation where you have a little bit of excess Velcro, you can either trim this flush with the belt, or you can tuck it around back just in case you want to move that Velcro to another belt. Once you're folded over like that, you're good to go. That concludes our video overviewing the ESD Sap Bucket along with its installation. If you guys want to check out more cool videos similar to this, go to our YouTube page. We also have a lot of great content on our Instagram and on our Facebook. If you search Edgar Sherman Design, you'll be sure to find any of those. If you go to our website to find more of our products, go to edgarshermandesign.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we hope that you like the kit.